My name is Dave, and today we are going to be reviewing Vast, the mysterious manor. Now, this is a review copy from Leader Games. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Can't tell you how much I do. Now, this is an extension, but a standalone game from the original Vast, the Crystal Caverns. Now, I've never played the Crystal Caverns or the other game that's asymmetric, which is Root. And I gotta tell you, I haven't played any game up to right now that takes this concept of all these different asymmetrical roles and pits them against each other. Then another one that comes into mind is Villainous now. So I haven't played anything like that until I got this box. Now I also got the expansion. We'll be going over that in another video later, but today we're focusing just on the core set of Vast here. It's not to say that I don't know anything about Vast, because right when I heard the concept that you could be one of 5 different roles and one of them being the cave, I was super intrigued. I just couldn't get around to actually finding it and getting it for myself. Well, now that we have it in our paws right here, this is a game for 1 to 5 players. Each role is going to have a different end goal. The paladin wants to kill the spider just wants to scare people and get the heck out of Dodge, and the manor, which takes the place of the cave, well, he just wants to lock everybody inside with him so he has friends for all eternity. This game is, no pun intended, pretty vast. It's pretty heavy, and the rules are very expansive. The thing about this game, though, is you will get your role and you just need to know basically what you are doing, and you don't really have to think about or worry about what other people are doing in the game. Like if you are the paladin, don't worry about the manor, or don't worry about the warlock. And because of that, it helps you understand the game and your role, and it doesn't bog you down with a whole bunch of roles. I say that because I'm not going to be going over every one of these roles and every one of the minute rules of this game, because there are a bunch. But I am going to give you a basic overview of how this game plays, up until the point where the players actually start to mitigate and or manipulate those roles and start to break them. And if you want to watch other videos on how to play the roles, there are some cool ones out there right now. Quackopolis, I think, is a channel that has a whole bunch of them. You can go check them out. But what I like to do is try to keep my videos under around 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this amazing production, and then we'll show you the basics on how to play. And then we'll get back here and tell you my opinion. Let's do it. Alright, so this is what comes in the box, and woo, boy, I'm excited to show you this. Let's start with the dials. They are smooth, easy to put together when they were 2 pieces, but very thick cardboard. Fantastic indeed. Speaking of cardboard, we'll go ahead and go through the little tiny bits. There's just so much in this game because each character has its own thing. This is the board. We'll get into that a little bit more. More cardboard components. Everything on the art is fantastic. I love the artist's style. And you got the little skeletons here along with the other people. Tinier cardboard spiders here, and just little odds and ends that you'll be using throughout the games. Of course, you have these little standees that hold some of those up. Yeah, each one of the characters has their own board. Some have more than others, but it has a bit of a synopsis or a flavor text on the back of them. And that was, I think, maybe the second or third thing that I did when I opened the box was read all the backs of these, and you get a little story in all of them. And every board, again, is unique. You have a ton of tiles that will be making up your landscape. You have cards here which are linen finish. Love linen finish. This is everybody's decks and stuff like that, along with treasure cards and such. Now, what you're here for, though, are the minis, and of course the green dice. I think this is my second favorite color, green. Great. I call it bud green. Okay, so the miniatures are just fantastic. This is the manor, like the spirit itself. Now, I will be going over the expansion in another video, which adds to some of these cardboard components and takes them out and makes some minis. But right now, this is what you get in the base set, and what you get in the base set is fantastic, spectacular. I mean, I can't use enough fantastic
adjectives to describe it. The miniatures are nice, the spiders are super creepy and done so well, and just heavy. That one spider is heavy, and my favorite skeleton here is the samurai one. Look at him, he is so cool. I hope you can see it well enough, my lighting is poor. Okay, so and you have the player boards, which you're going to have to read front and back to understand what your player actually does. So everything included is just tasty. Now let me show you how to play this game, more of an overview, and then we'll give our opinions. Let's go. Alright, so this is the game setup for 3 players. I'm not going to be going over everyone's roles. I am going to be focusing on the paladin, skeleton, and the spider more, so you'll get more of a flavor for them. But mainly what I'm doing is going over the basic rules that apply to every player, with the exception on any rule breaking cards or powers. So the order of play is always going to go paladin, spider, skeleton. If the manor is in there, manor, and then the warlock, and they will do their phases. One of the things that the players can do, including the paladin, and we'll go with the paladin's rule set because his movement basically is like the subset of everybody. You can move over to one of the dark areas. There are crypt areas that some players that can move on. There are grounds areas that the skeletons can take advantage of. And there are dark areas that the paladin, like this person right here, can move into. And different tiles have different effects. Some benefit different roles, and some benefit everyone. These 4 tiles here are the armory, and this is where the skeletons are going to be going to get some more weapons. So let's go over some of the tiles right now. So this is a blood tile, so when you place this down, when you place a tile down, by the way, there are walls and entrances. You always have to play it where it's applicable and at least has one entrance going to the room that you're going from. So this one right here would not be legal, but if I place this down for the spider, I could do it this way. And it's a blood tile, so I can go ahead and put a blood down. This is some of the win conditions for the spider to collect some of this blood and get terror, and then get the heck out of dodge out of this manor. The paladin's goal is to kill the spider, and the skeletons are trying to kill the paladin. And all these characters can only hurt the one that they're after. So the paladin's trying to get out of dodge and cast light spells to make sure the skeletons can't hurt him because he can't affect them physically, and the spider is trying to skiddy away as the paladin tried to go full force as he buffs himself along the whole path. The other tile here is a treasure chest. Now we'll be going over the expansion. They actually upgrade this tile, but you'll be placing a treasure chest down and people can get loot that way. And then you have a pit effect here. This isn't going to immediately play out, but it is a place where the skeletons can come up at and get around the board much faster. And the last tile we have here is the shrine. This is for the paladin. This is where he can get all his buffs, his fury tokens, whatnot, and helps him get along the path with the stronger goods. Now when you move, you can only move horizontal or vertical, so, and you can't move through walls. So in this case, the only thing that I could move to would be to this next area, and I didn't put down a dark tile. So this is a dark side and this is the lit side. So when you put a lit tile down, you always place a dark tile on every path that's open. So I can go ahead and flip this one right here and move right into it like so. Now diagonal isn't a way that you can move, but sometimes it will be an effect that you can do. So if the paladin was right here and it said a surrounding effect, that would be all 8 of these areas. Now also line of sight goes as follows. As long as you can draw a line of sight through an open area that has no walls, you can go as far as the furthest lit area. So we wouldn't be able to extend it to this part. So there's all the tiles. When you get treasure chest, you will get special cards like this, and there are different ways you can kind of manipulate that as well. And there are other tiles right here. These are a breach, so basically if you want to bust out a wall and give yourself an option to go a different way, well, you can do that if you have the option. This is a phantom wall. This acts as if it is a wall. So this goes right here, and that's how the manor controls things. The last tile here is the phantom tile. When you place one of these shadowy phantom things down, one of these poltergeists comes out, and it has a defense of 1 and a strength of 0. So when you go into battle, strength and defense matters. So let's say this opening right here and this paladin's here. I would move into this room, and let's say the paladin is +1/+1. That's all he is. He's going to be able to defeat this poltergeist by doing so, and then he will get different effects. Now, I'm not going to go over too much, but basically you're gaining experience, grit, in order to get more cards, more fury, better stuff. Now, let's say the defense of this monster would have been 2, and I went here. Well, then I would just get pushed back. I would have to retreat. That wouldn't be something you would normally do, but sometimes you do get pushed in an area and forced to fight. And then in that case, you again would get pushed back. Like I said, the paladin is trying to get to the spider and hit it 5 times in order to kill it and win. And the spider is trying to get out of dodge but scare people and shoot webs all over the place and lay its eggs and turn into the 5 spiders and or the sorcerer. And once it has 12 terror, it has to get back to the entrance and out, and that wins. And again, like I said, the skeletons want to beat up the paladin, and once they do that, they win. He has a certain amount of life points. The cool thing about skeletons is they can walk on any of the crypt areas that they want, and or they can go through the side here and really traverse quite fast. And to briefly describe the manor, it's kind of like a puzzly thing where the manor needs to get, I think, 14 seals, and then it traps everybody in here and it wins. And the warlock wants to dominate different items, so he wants to dominate like treasures and stuff like that. And once he does 5, he basically traps everybody in here and has his domination and his way with everyone. And the turns go paladin, spider, skeleton, manor, and then warlock, and each person has 4 phases with the exception of the manor, who has 5. Again, whoever reaches their end goal first is the winner, and there's just so much more to go over, but I'll let you have the fun in doing so. And that is just a basic overview on how everything works until it gets broken by all these different roles. So now let me give you my thoughts, give this game a grade, and then we'll go from there. Alright, let's go.
Alright, so that is how you play the basics of Fast. Let's go ahead and give this game a grade. I'm just going to hug it right here. It gets a 97 in my humble opinion, and that absolutely gets the GameVine Must Play It award. Now, the only 3 points that got docked were for the following, and then after that I'm going to tell you all the good things. The footprint is really big. If you don't have a lot of space, well, you might not be able to bust out a 5-player game easily, so that docks off 1 point. There is a lot of reading in this game. Not that I am adverse to reading, but there is a ton, and if you're the GM like I normally am, it's going to take a little bit of time and research and work on your part to really get this game and grasp it. But again, it only knocks off 1 point. I'm only giving it a bit of a ding. And the last point that gets knocked out is this game looks daunting. If you are new to the hobby and you see something like this and you hear that all the roles have different objectives and different powers, well, you might turn around and walk the other way. Even though you might watch from afar because this game looks beautiful, it might be a little overwhelming. So those are the only 3 points that got knocked out. Other than that, this game is immaculate. I am just so enamored with it. There was hyperbole going into this review and or into the first playing of this game, and it absolutely held up to its promises, at least in my head. Now again, I'm still really excited to play the other vast versions, and now even more so, but this one right here really hit on all cylinders. The fact on how the asymmetric powers work, and the flow is just so buttery smooth, and the balancing is decent. I don't know how they did this and how they think about this stuff, but this is like, I think they have like 14 rolls up to this actual vast here, and that's it. It's rough estimate, but but the production brings me in. The theme is dripping. Like I said, the gameplay of every one of these, I've played every role. Well, at least I played 4 of them, and I watched the other role get played against me. Now, I would say my 2 favorite would definitely be the skeletons. I like the way they play, but they are a more advanced kind of gameplay. I would say the other one that's a favorite is definitely the Manor. It's a puzzly kind of game that you have, and I don't really like puzzles, but this one, just imagine myself taking over this house with all these poltergeists and trying to like lock these people in and doing my goals along the way. It just had me really, really happy. The whole game, my mouth is just ear to ear smiles. My least favorite role was probably the spider, but it was actually pretty fun too. It's just breaking up into little places just wasn't my style. But that's the cool thing about this game. If you're not into one role, you have a whole bunch to choose from. Now, I am going to be showing off the expansion. Like I said, adds more to it. It actually adds more components, like plastic components, 3D components, and replaces some of the cardboard components in this box, which I'll get into it more when I actually talk about the expansion, but it's pretty nice to have if you have this one already. The solo play was really fun. I did the whole campaign with the paladin. That's the only way you can do it. So you do easy, normal, and hard. That was just fun, and I played it twice. I mean, I've just been banging this game out over and over again because it's just so much fun. There's nothing like it. Well, of course, other vast games, and now people are starting to copy, but this was the pioneer. So, Leader Games, keep doing what you're doing, and thank you so very much for this review. You've made my year at this point when it comes to gaming. And who am I recommending this for? Pretty much anyone. Maybe stray away from it if you're just getting into the hobby. You know, grab 1 or 2 other games and then get to this. But it's relatively easy to grasp once you get over the curve on some of the roles. You have to play it like once or twice and you're like, oh, this is how that game plays. But for gamers, for anyone who wants a thematic game, whoever likes miniatures or just tile, this game is hitting on all cylinders. Just go out there and pick it up. So again, thank you so much, Leader Games, and thank you so much, Vi Nation, for tuning into this review. You couldn't be anywhere, but you're here with me killing zombies. Yeah, so until the next time that I see ya, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all you play. Come back and join me when I show off the expansion to this game. But until then, I'm out. Bye. Vi Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance the dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.